Welcome to Historic Reflection, and today we have a prominent historian, Mrs. Meeta Joshi. And today's topic is about the great builder. Yes, I'm talking about Shahajahaan, who has created, and even today, the Taj Mahal is so popular, and people really, whenever they come India, they would definitely visit Taj Mahal. So let's discuss about Shahajahaan, and without wasting any moment, let's welcome Meeta Joshi. Welcome, Meeta ji. How are you doing today? And today we are discussing a very interesting aspect of our ruler of India, which is Mughal ruler Shahajahaan. So, first of all, I would like to ask you how you have been.
Namaskar, Kanchan. I am well. I hope everything is well with you too.
Yes, I'm well. So today is quite interesting because most of the buildings which we see, especially in capital Delhi and other places like Agra, we find the architecture influence of Shah Jahan's era. So please tell us about his passion and about this king, this emperor.
Shahajahan was the son of Jahangir and he was the fifth emperor of the Mughal Empire. He ruled for almost 30 years, 1628 to 1658. Okay, and his rule is known for his contribution towards the architecture and the culture. The architecture flourished in his time period. He was a great patron of the Mughal architecture. Now, he originally known as Khurram, he adopted the regnal name Shah Jahan, which is a Persian word which means king of the world, Shah Jahan. And initially, he, when he was a prince, he had a war of succession with his brothers. He killed one of his brothers, Shahryar Mirza, and the other three to come to the throne. And to make it worse, he imprisoned his father till his death. Okay, so personally, if you see, all these things are associated with him, but he is known for all the important monuments which you see in North India. Taj Mahal in Agra, then Lal Killa in New Delhi, Moti Masjid, Jama Masjid, Shami Shalimar Gardens, and the list goes on and on. And one very peculiar thing about Shah Jahan's architecture is that he started the use of white marble. Before him, till Akbar and Jahangir, they constructed with red sandstone. Because if you see Lal Killa is built up of red sandstone, but Taj Mahal is of white, pure white marble. So he brought this change, this transformation of choosing the color and the texture of whatever is used in the those huge buildings. Not only the Taj Mahal, which is considered as one of the seven wonders of the world, he constructed it in the memory of his late wife, Arjuband Banu Begum, who was known as Mumtaz Mahal. Mumtaz Mahal means to whom the palace belongs. The meaning of Mumtaz Mahal is that, and he was deeply in love with Mumtaz Mahal, and while delivering the 14th issue, she died of postpartum hemorrhage because of excessive bleeding. And then he built this structure known as Taj Mahal, where he buried Mumtaz. And later, after his death, Shah Jahan's death, his son Aurangzeb, he buried Shah Jahan next to Mumtaz Mahal. So that way, he contributed a lot towards the architecture side. One more thing because of which he is known is, as Jahangir did that, he wanted to do undo what Akbar did. So same way Shah Jahan also followed the same way. His time period is known to undo the liberal policies of Akbar, because Akbar was a liberal king. He accepted Hindus, he accepted the Rajputs, you know, and in the time of Shah Jahan, we see lot of Islamic revivalism. Like one of the things is there, Naqshbandi. Okay, that is one order of Islam. So that got revived, and many things. He again he revoked the jizya tax against the Hindus, and there was restrictions in constructing temples. Festivals were not allowed to be celebrated on a large scale. So all these happened. But the biggest contribution of him is towards the architecture of Mughal Empire.
When
Yeah.
yeah, when we are talking about the architecture of Mughal Empire, and definitely Shah Jahan's name comes on the top of the series. But what is the style of architecture? It is Indo-Persian, or it is like a mixture of Indian culture and maybe some latest Mughal architecture? How you really see that?
See, Mughal architecture, because the Mughal Empire was a theocratic state. The meaning of theocratic state is that a religion rules. So obviously, Islam ruled at that time. So we get the influence of, this Persian architecture in the Mughal architecture very, very vividly. And you can say that that style came to be known as Indo-Persian later, Indo-Persian architecture, and lot of the use of white marble, that the white marble, and the the karigari which was done, very minute karigari. If you happen to visit Taj Mahal, you will see the windows are made of jalis of this white marble. So just imagine how hard it would have been to carve, all these patterns. And then in Taj Mahal, you see lot of things which were related to Mumtaz Mahal and Shah Jahan. Like their love, you can easily make out in the architecture. So same way, when you go to Moti Masjid, or you go to Jama Masjid, you go to Lal Killa, the Red Fort in Delhi, or the Shalimar Gardens. It is like he was a very great builder after Sher Shah Sur of Sur dynasty, because Sher Shah Sur also is known for his love of building. He built the Grand Trunk Road and many other things he did. But Shah Jahan, he not only developed the architecture, but his contribution towards the culture also is equally, important, because when they were constructing those buildings and monuments and forts and palaces, developing those gardens, so somewhere their personal touch you can easily make out. It is not that oh, you gave a contract to some mistri, the mason, and he did it. It was monitored very, very closely by Shah Jahan.
Okay.
And
And
you
also
must,
said that once he all these they were so refined and though so fine. So once it is it's done by the masons, and they were not rewarded, but I think they were punished for
they
some
were
time.
punished, their hands were chopped off,
Yes, so that
saying that if these people create another Taj Mahal, so the importance of this Taj Mahal will go down.
okay,
It
okay,
is a very cruel act,
okay,
very cruel act.
okay.
That all these kings are known for their cruelty, because killing his own brothers to come to the throne, is one thing. Then behaving with the mason is one thing. Not like when he was into the conquests, Shahajahaan against the Rajputs and the Lodhis of Deccan. That time also, like they were only killing. There were no negotiations that okay, we are supreme, so you come under our supremacy or suzerainty. So they were like very cruel and barbaric people, because we should not forget that they belong to the Timurid house. The dynasty was of Timur.
Mhm.
That bloodline is, known for its barbarism.
Okay, when we are talking about the architecture, and this will be the last question which I would be asking you regarding the architecture, and in the next episode we will take how the economic and social structure of Shah Jahan. We'll discuss that. But today, when we are talking about architecture, so if we compare that era's architecture, leaving Taj Mahal, where you can say is more inclined to, if we see Persia, or we see like Tamur house, from where these Mughal have originated. So where you can really combine this architecture, I mean, as any reflection of those culture on Indo-Persian architecture of India at that time, of that era.
Definitely, because the blue glazed tiles which they used were uniquely and like particularly from, Persia. So they were never used in India before. Then the red bricks, the red sandstone, white marble. So it all they all show the influence of, Persia on their architecture. Moreover, many masons were called from Persia when they were constructing all those buildings.
Okay.
So obviously, when you belong to a place, in your work, the culture and the style will be very, very visible.
Okay, so this is what we have discussed about the art and architecture, and I request my viewers to really, maybe if they have not visited these places, they are wonderful places which is been built by Shah Jahan, especially in the architecture, or Delhi Fort or Taj Mahal. It's worth visiting, and I look forward for their comments and how they look at these buildings which are being created by Shah Jahan. So we'll be talking again regarding the socio-economic era of Shah Jahan. But it was so wonderful to talk to you, Mita ji, and listen how things have originated in the era of Shah Jahan, and how great builder he was.
He was, indeed, he was a great builder. And one little more thing I will add, Kanchan, like many people, they are asking me that why you are making videos on the Mughal Empire, because they were foreigners and they were very brutal, they were very cruel. So, history, we cannot ignore anything when we are talking about history. So,
We
what
had a great discussion with Mrs. Meeta Joshi, who is a prominent historian, and we have discussed regarding Shah Jahan and his contribution in architectural monuments which he built in India. We look forward for your comments, and I will be meeting again in our next episode with the profile of next great kings of India. Till then, bye bye, and you take care.